I get native Shabbos. This week is Parshas Tazriya. Tazriya is we're talking about the nega. If a person speaks lashon hara, he talks about somebody else. What happens is that he breaks out in a tzeras. A nega or a tzeras, they're different types, as we're all familiar. The question is why a nega? Why does a nega come out? Why does it come out? Why do I break out? Why does a person break out when he talks lashon hara? So as we spoke already, that if there is no past, no future, only the present moment, only the hava, and that thing that we're still learning what it is, that thing, this big thing that created everything and is everything, and we're waking up to what it is and what it means, how connected we are, who we are in all that ishtalshalos in the food chain of up and down, who we are. Where are we in line? There are the animals, Daimon, Tzemayach, there's Chai, there's Medaber. And then there are people, different types of Briyas. And we're waking up to see who we are, that we are the Bachar Bani Mekol Ha'amim, Asher Kedushana is Kadishtim, the Ani Hashem Elokeichem Emes. We are in the highest, we're in the top of the food chain. What does it mean? What does it mean? That means that Chassidus explains that when a person has a thought, I'm thinking something, but then I can think something and talk something completely different. My thoughts are not, they're just imagination. I have to do a pa'ula to bring it in. Not so is by Creator. When Creator has a thought, when the Eibishter, when God has a thought, He creates instantly. He creates instantly. So he had a thought, B'ni B'chari Yisrael. All b'machshava. He had a thought, B'ni B'chari Yisrael. Manzin, my son, my B'char, the oldest one. Who? Yisrael. We are Yisrael. And he had a thought. Now if there's no past and there's no future, all there is the present moment. If Creator had a thought, B'ni B'chari Yisrael, what is happening? He keeps that's the only thought. Constantly. This is it. Tzelem Alikim. B'ni B'chari Yisrael. That's all that matters. That's all there is. There is nothing else. Everything else is just here by default. That's to hold space for us, so we can see what's going on, where we are. We can measure Medida. This is the Omer we're talking about. We're learning how to measure. We have a different measurement now. We have a different way of measuring things. I no longer measure my success with my stress and my accomplishments of the week, how much I stressed and how much I accomplished of my stress, and how much I fulfilled my dreams that were just causing me pain. That's not how I measure. Choshech is fadrami, that make me think that this is how I measure. But now I measure from a whole different B'ni B'chari Yisrael, and I'm looking as to what's going on all over, and I see my consciousness, the way I can think, and the way I can understand. This is how I measure. And now I realize my powers. That I too can think and manifest. I too can think and create. Amach Kulam Tzadikim. This is what it's going to be. Once we are in Yechida, we are one with Creator. What does that mean? We're one. We are just one. One long manifestation. So we are also. This is what we're waking up to. So when a person talks, so what happens is that what is that Olav Mashava? It comes down also with Einig. Right? Olav Machshava, and then this Avalei Kadosh Baruch Hu, he had a taiva, he had a desire. So we are a living desire. We're constantly expressing a desire, a living desire, but he's asked of us that we do Torah mitzvahs. That's his desire. So that's how we climb the ladder to be in this state of oneness in this pure way. So if this Creator had a thought and he had a desire that's so powerful that creates worlds and billions of angels and in mispar, we can't even count what's happening here. Don't even know. We're just a speck. It's funny. It's comical how tiny we are and we think we're something. So he's loving. He's sending down Shefa, And by me speaking bad, I'm stopping that flow. I'm stopping that love from within me that I'm supposed to express, because as created Olam Mashava, Tzelem Elikim was flashing, and we're just keep mirroring from created to Tzelem, and then here we are in Olam Asiyah, a flashing, a reflection from Malchus Datzilis. It's all mirroring, but we're just here in the physical. So if I'm stopping that flow, I'm stopping that oinig that Creator is having from this Avalek Krish Baruch Hu Lisal Dira B'Daltenim, and then that flips over to nega. Oinig turns over to nega. So we used to think it's just a word, just a concept, something we say. It turns over. What does it mean? Turn over the word. Big sales. It's oinig nega. What's up with like? But now that I'm waking up to my power and I'm realizing how powerful words are, the power of my words, that I can create with my mouth, I can create with my words. Can I not? You tell somebody a compliment, what happens to that person? When you listen to a song, you have to get goosebumps. What is happening? It's all the power of the mouth. It's the Malchus Peh. So now I understand that I have the key to codes. I have the key to unlock doors. Because when a Yid gives another Yid a compliment and he goes into a flow state, this is not just Tamazoi. We're talking about Creator is now having a very powerful moment, so to speak, with himself. And let's not confuse, it's gazillions of levels. This is just Kaviyachal. We're talking about, we're in the beginning. He created Asiyah. We don't know. He's B'tachas Abshittas. So now that I know the power of my words, that I have the codes, I'm starting to appreciate, I'm starting to learn, I'm starting to understand. Forget about me watching what's coming out of my mouth, but my thinking, my thought process, to the point where, yes, there is no more Negoim, because remember, we are going into the Ikvas Mashiach, we're going into the lowest of the lowest of consciousness that is waking up. Because he wanted to have in the lowest of the low. That's where he wanted. Gam Sham, he wanted to have it. There's not a single corner that can't have this consciousness. You can't be aware of this oneness, because it has to be Echad. We're going into Echad and Yechida. Everything has to be there. So now as this consciousness is, as we are waking up to that, so as we're waking up with that, sorry, there was a distraction there outside. Friday afternoon, the shower story, right? So it has to manifest on a much lower level. So it doesn't show up in a nega anymore. It shows up in a way more physical way, in a way more powerful way, because Creator, Eibishter, is showing himself in the most physical of the physical. How does it show up? I'm blocking my own flow. I don't have a nega anymore. A nega back then, because we were still not grounded fully. We were still flying somewhere. It was big oiris. It was so now how does it manifest? That I'm blocking myself. Mitamol, I get up in the morning and I don't feel good. I have anxiety. What's anxiety? Anxiety is an outburst. There's too much oil. Let's just say it's galunga. Now you captured more oil. You did a good deed yesterday and you captured more oil. But the valve is closed. Because I have a nega. I can't express myself. And now this anxiety is like, it's pressing me. What do? I'm going out of my mind. So I go and I start looking for other stuff to make me feel better, but it's not. So I stay in darkness, I stay in choshech. And I stay miserable. And this is the power of this is what's happening, and how we have to start waking up to the power. Then the same way I can do neg, I can do einig. Right? So all about all I got to do is think now positive. I have to think that, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. That doesn't feel right to me. Boom, that kav is open again. And then when I actually do it, it flows, but oil comes into it immediately. And this is the 613, part of the 613 strings in the parachute, plus 7. So good Shabbos, it should be only einik. If they will start living in a place of einik, just be, don't think about it, don't try to figure it out. Just do it. Just focus on the positive. and everything will fall into place. Behive la kohen ish Elian, kohen is the hechste madraga, the conduit, Arna kohen. He brings down the Sheva Neres. He brings down the Shefa, so we have Avos Olam, Ave Rabba, Yireh Tata, Yireh Elo, and Kohen ish Elian. So there's tremendous Shefa this week. Daf Leben with the Parsha, and the Parsha is the letters of the week. That's the conversation. That's the B'min Nimlach, where the Eibishter is talking. Because remember, before he created the world, he was Nimlach. Well, who was he Nimlach? With Tzadikim, Meshasam Shel Tzadikim. Who are the Meshasam Shel Tzadikim? Va'amach Kolim Tzadikim. What were they talking about? They were talking about Torah. Torah's Mashiach. Baruch Alekim Arachefes Apnei Moim. They were talking about Torah's Rabbeinu. That's the conversation. Now, does that mean, B'min Nimlach, Pshat is that if there's no past and no future, there's B'min Nimlach constantly. We're constantly in conversation. We're always talking. How do we do that? With tefillah. When we're in prayer. When everything is at prayer, everything is at tefillah. Everything that happens during the day, when I feel a nega coming my way, I don't look at it as my stress. When I see a choshech coming, I don't get stressed. I'm like, okay, this is a nega. I'm going to turn it over to Einig. How? I'm going to think positive. I'm doing something positive. I'm going to smile. I'm going to make myself happy. After that, I'm going to love myself. That's it. It's over. You open that flow. Now you flip that nega to Einig. Good Shabbos.